there, I'm Nadia Azmi and this is Nightline. These are the headlines. Stop the whining, engage and help the people instead, says PM. And stakeholders to take action on casino license report. Good morning. Those mentioned in a recent report by a foreign news agency alleging that the government is planning to issue a license for a casino in Forest City, Johor, should take necessary action against the news agency. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim made the suggestion when queried on whether the government would request the news agency to retract the news report or proceed with legal action against the New York-based news agency.
Datuk Seri akan saman Bloomberg ke atau minta?
No, I think they will take the necessary action.
No, Datuk Seri?
They will take a necessary action.
He was met by the media after performing Friday prayers at the Malaysia Airlines Islamic Centre in Sepang, Selangor. On Thursday, Anwar strongly denied the news report, describing the report as being untrue and a lie. The news agency alleged that Berjaya founder Tan Sri Vincent Tan and Genting Group's Tan Sri Lim Kok Tay were in early discussions with the government on opening a casino in Forest City, Johor. The report, quoting sources, said the casino project would revive the 478.35 billion ringgit property project. Meanwhile, Baya Corp Berhad B Corp has denied allegations of its founder Tan Sri Vincent Tan's involvement in discussions regarding casino license in Forest City, Johor, as alleged by Bloomberg. B Corp said the reports from The Edge Singapore and Bloomberg had included inaccurate information. As such, it urged for clarification on the inaccuracies and removal of any misleading content from the articles in question across all platforms. It also urged for the cessation of further dissemination of the inaccurate information. The Johor state government, in the meantime, has affirmed Putrajaya's stance that no casinos will be opened or operated in the state. Menteri Besar Dato' On Hafiz Ghazi said such rumours were an act of sabotage with an ill intention to taint the name of Forest City and Johor. He added that the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Ibrahim has also decreed that there should be no casinos in Johor, which clearly shows Johor's stance on the matter. With a firm statement, he said the state government hopes that the issue will be no longer prolonged. Furthermore, the Menteri Besar said the state government has never been involved in or referred to for such a thing and had never ever received an invitation to discuss it. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim has lambasted leaders who complained and criticised the government efforts to assist all races, stating that their actions were damaging to the people. He stressed that such leaders should instead choose to engage with the government to collaborate in assisting the people regardless of race and to develop the nation. Anwar said the best approach is to cooperate and negotiate effectively to gain the government's attention in collectively uplifting the dignity of all ethnic groups and regions. He pointed out that all parties should work as a team to develop the country, avoiding condemnation or denial of any positive contributions made by the government.
Ada yang memilih untuk bekerjasama. Ada yang memilih untuk hanya mencaci dan melihat semuanya tak betul. Akhirnya masyarakat rugi. Saudara marah-marah, guna media sosial maki hamun, tidak berunding, tidak meminta jasa baik untuk bekerjasama, tidak menerima apapun sumbangan yang baik. Orang-orang itu tidak akan menguntungkan masyarakat kita.
The Prime Minister said this at the Maju Institute of Educational Development MIED check presentation ceremony in Putrajaya on Friday. He also highlighted that leaders from PKR, MIC and DAP serve as good examples by choosing to negotiate to aid and enhance the quality of life for people of all races. He also emphasized that racism should be shunned and the dignity of all races should be elevated to make Malaysia successful, robust and great again. At the event, Anwar also announced an allocation of 2 million ringgit to Taufik College in Seremban, which was established by former MIC President, the late Tun S. Samivelu. A total of 671 individuals also received scholarships and loans through MIED with an allocation of over 15 million ringgit. On another matter, a mediocre scholar should not be brought in as a visiting professor in the first place, according to the Prime Minister. Anwar said this in response to the issue involving American professor Bruce Gilly's controversial post on X after being invited to give a talk at University Malaya recently.
Mediocre scholar should not be brought as a visiting professor in the first place. Okay? The rest, the minister have already clarified.
On Wednesday, a post uploaded by the pro-Zionist Gilly on social media site X about his attendance at a program in had gone viral. The post was widely criticised by Malaysians. Later, Gilly took to X to say that he left Malaysia due to safety concerns caused by what he claimed was an Islamo-fascist mob whipped up by the government. The Higher Education Ministry had earlier lambasted Gilly and ordered that his events be cancelled immediately due to his insensitive remarks. has since apologised for hosting Gilly and also criticised him for his remarks on the country. Meanwhile, the restriction imposed on visiting professors and speakers who are pro-Zionist must be seen from the aspects of security and the image of the country, which may be affected and tarnished because of their statements. Higher Education Minister Datuk Sri Zamri Abdul Qadir said, therefore, the allegation that the restriction would affect academic freedom should not be raised.
Ia bukan persoalan akademik. Dia persoalan kenyataan terhadap negara, tentang keselamatan negara, kedudukan negara, imej negara yang dibuat oleh seorang daripada luar datang membuat kenyataan yang terlalu celupar. Saya harap mereka yang berkenaan yang membuat komen itu perlu membezakan di antara konteks kebebasan akademik dengan kebebasan yang menyentuh tentang kedudukan negara, imej negara dengan membuat kenyataan yang terlalu biadab dan sangat berbahaya.
Zamri said the ministry has not yet received any report on the matter from University Malaya. He also described Gilly's claim that Malaysia is not a safe country to visit as a very dangerous statement that can cause discomfort to many parties. He added that even the United States Embassy in Malaysia is not comfortable with the statement issued by the professor and has reaffirmed that Malaysia is still a safe country to travel to. Commenting further, Zamri said the ministry has never intervened in the affairs of any university under its jurisdiction to ensure that academic freedom can be practiced. However, he reiterated the ministry's stance, which encourages every university to check the backgrounds of academicians before inviting anyone to any program. To attract more school leavers to TVET, the government plans to offer graduates in the field premier starting salary of 4,000 ringgit. While many might say that this is the ideal starting salary, it is sufficient to attract interest, and what additional measures could be taken to boost interest in the field. FMT's Danish Rajareza has a story.
4,000 ringgit. Many fresh graduates would tell you that this is how much they would like to earn on their first full-time job. However, many of them have to settle for far less most of the time. With these concerns in mind, the government has worked out a strategy to address this while getting students into technical and vocational education and training, which is seen as pivotal for Malaysia to achieve its high-income ambitions. Last month, Deputy Prime Minister Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said Putrajaya is considering implementing a premium salary starting at 4,000 ringgit for TVET graduates.
Untuk itu, secara tidak langsung ini akan menggalakkan pelajar-pelajar masuk ke institusi TVET ini.
FMT spoke to several delivery riders and students to learn whether this offer is enticing enough for them to consider a career in the field.
Lebih eloklah ada kerja tetap daripada kerja macam tak tentu arah. Kadang-kadang ada gaji, kadang-kadang tak ada gaji macam tu.
Kalau saya akan stick dengan minat saya, ekonomi. Saya rasa inisiatif ini sangat-sangat dapat membantu the future generation untuk move to TVET punya industri.
Saya mungkin saya tidak akan tukar. Jadi saya rasa dengan perkara macam ni mungkin orang-orang muda yang lebih muda daripada saya mungkin boleh berubah dan persepsi masyarakat kita juga akan berubah.
While this initiative might seem appealing, is this the best approach to increase participation in TVET? Educationist Yunus Yassin says the government has a more urgent and broader issue to tackle first: stagnant wages.
When I graduated 20 years ago, my salary was 2.2. 20 years later, a fresh graduate is still only getting 2,200. So there has not been any movement in the salary scale for 20 years.
He pointed out that potential TVET candidates are often drawn to the gig industry because of its lure of high pay without having to further their studies. The solution? Raising awareness about the limited career progression in gig jobs. Yunus also suggests taking inspiration from Germany, where they seamlessly integrate TVET into mainstream education, offering chances for career growth and lifelong learning.
The industry has to change because in Germany, at the age of 11, you can go into TVET. There is academic progression where you can go to the level of master craftsman, which is equivalent and paid the same amount as a PhD academic.
For Nightline.
India votes in phase 2 of mammoth election. News from the foreign front when we return.
Baru nak seronok-seronok mula cuti semester ni. Tapi lain pula yang jadi. Alamak. Boleh ke mereka ni bertahan kalau satu persatu hantu datang mengganggu? Lain malam, lain seram lah.
Nadia in Thailand.
Kuarter cuti semester mulai 25 April. Khamis hingga Sabtu 9 malam. Terbaru di Lestari TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Makin ramai mati mengejut.
Waktu itu saya perasan dia punya tangan tu dah mula membiru.
Masalah jantung, pembunuh dalam diam yang menyerang secara tiba-tiba.
Usually we have to stop the heart for about 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Penyakit ini tidak akan hilang. Sebahagian dari masyarakat tak percaya langsung.
Ikuti diskusi mendalam mengenai kematian mengejut dalam Hello Doktor Ahad 5.30 petang di TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Macam-macam yang jadi raya ni dalam cerita Ahad TV3. Adik Bam-Bam, kalau tak buat huru-hara, memang tak sah.
Si Faiz Debab tu dah cederakan mata cucu aku.
Gelap, adik Bam-Bam.
Sibuk kumpul duit raya, sampai tak sedar hantu raya balik kampung.
Mana ada hantu? Abang memang takut. Boleh abang tumpang tidur di sini?
Raya macam dulu-dulu di cerita Ahad TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. A Zionist assault on southern Gaza's Rafah area would spell disaster for civilians, not only in Gaza but across the Middle East. The head of an aid group warned on Friday, saying the region faced a countdown to an even bigger conflict. The Secretary-General of the Norwegian Refugee Council, Jan Egeland, said that 1.3 million civilians seeking refuge in Rafah were living in indescribable fear of an Israeli offensive. Egeland also urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not to go through with the operation. Meanwhile, Egypt's president dispatched his intelligence chief to Israel in a last-ditch effort to revive talks toward a ceasefire in Gaza that would also free Israeli hostages and hold off a planned Israeli military offensive against Hamas in the city of Rafah. Egypt's chief of general intelligence, Abbas Kamil, is leading a delegation that was set to meet with the head of Israel's Mossad intelligence agency and an array of other top Israeli officials. Meanwhile, students blocked access to Paris's prestigious Sciences Po University over the war in Gaza on Friday, demanding the institution condemn Israel's actions in a protest that echoed similar demonstrations on US campuses. Chanting their support for the Palestinians, the students displayed Palestinian flags at windows and over the building's entrance. Several wore the black and white keffiyeh headscarf that has become an emblem of solidarity with Gaza.
On demande dans la tradition de Sciences Po, qui en général prend position, condamne les violations du droit international, ne l'a jamais fait pour ce que Israël est en train de faire en Palestine. On demande à ce que Sciences Po le fasse et ne soit plus impliqué indirectement dans les exactions qui se passent en Palestine, que ce soit à Gaza ou que ce soit en Cisjordanie.
Indians in 13 states and federally governed territories started voting on Friday in the second phase of the 7-part general election, with all eyes fixed on politically crucial states that will play a key role in the formation of the next government. More than 1,200 candidates are in the fray in this phase, in which nearly 90 of the 543 seats in the Lok Sabha, the lower house of parliament, are being contested. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party, BJP, is eyeing a rare third straight 5-year term in power in the South Asian country. The outcome of Friday's voting will be crucial for BJP as the 88 constituencies up for grabs across 13 states include some of its strongholds in states like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. Most polls predict a win for Modi and the BJP, which is up against a broad opposition alliance led by the Indian National Congress and powerful regional parties. Voting will run through June 1st and the tallying of ballots will be on June 4th. Chinese tech giant ByteDance has no plans to sell TikTok after a new US law put it on a deadline to divest from the hugely popular video platform or have it banned in the United States. The response from ByteDance came after a tech-focused US news site reported that it was exploring the potential sale of TikTok's operation in the US without the algorithm that powers it. ByteDance, however, denied it was considering a sale. The statement came as US lawmakers set the 9-month deadline on national security grounds, alleging that TikTok can be used by the Chinese government for espionage and propaganda as long as it is owned by ByteDance. Actions from the Under-23 Asian Cup after this breather.
Geng di Lembah Kelang, jomlah beraya di Karnival Jom Heboh edisi Raya Babas di Putrajaya untuk aneka keriangan bersama keluarga. Temui selebriti studio tonton drama sangat seperti Era Fazira, Radin Zaharatul dan Lan Solo, personaliti media prima dan maskot kami. Juga saksikan dan sertai aktiviti menarik, pesta makanan, hiburan dan hadiah percuma untuk semua sepanjang hari. Temui anda semua 3 hingga 5 Mei ini di tapak parkir Presin 3 Putrajaya mulai jam 9 pagi. Jom, jom, jom!
Persahabatan mereka seolah-olah sempurna. Sebaliknya hanyalah sebuah topeng.
Dia nampak je cantik dan lembut tau. Tapi sebenarnya dia pemangsa yang hebat dan tangkas.
Tersembunyi rahsia gelap yang menjerat satu persatu jiwa.
Bagi tahu apa salah I, apa yang lemah salah sangat.
Yang lemah akan tewas.
Racun Rihanna. Mulai 30 April, Isnin hingga Khamis 10 malam. Terbaru di Samarinda TV3 dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Uncover the current state of sustainable fashion.
Exploring the love for pre-loved fashion and debunking common misconceptions.
I always believe that every piece in your wardrobe should have a personal story to you. Yeah. There should be a reason why it's in there. Why do you love it? Where did you buy it? Where did you wear it to?
Okay, if you did really want to buy new, Does this pass your grandma's test?
Catch Women Talk this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3. You can also live stream it on Tonton.
We're back with sports. Football, the 2024 AFC Under-23 Asian Cup. Indonesia shocked South Korea in an epic quarter-final on Friday as they won 11-10 on penalties after both sides had drawn 2-2 in normal and extra time. The young Garuda took the lead early in the 15th minute when Rafael Struijk curled in a beautiful shot to the top corner. The Teguk Warriors drew level just before the interval through an own goal by Indonesia's Komang Teguh, but Struijk struck again from close range 3 minutes into added time to put Indonesia 2-1 up at half-time. Things went downhill for South Korea as they were reduced to 10 men after Lee Yong-jun was sent off in the 70th minute for a poor challenge. However, Sang Buin-jeong found the equaliser for the Teguk Warriors in the 84th minute, forcing the match into extra time and penalties. Indonesia's Hernando Ari became a hero in the shootout by saving Lee Kang-hee's kick before Pratama Arhan secured the 11-10 victory to seal the young Garuda's semi-final spot. In another match, Japan shattered Qatar's Olympics dreams by beating the 10-man home side 4-2 in extra time, following a 2-2 draw in the quarter-final on Thursday. Fuku Yamada put the young Samurai Blue in front just 2 minutes into the game with a powerful shot, but Ahmad Hisham Ali Musa Al-Rawi drew level for Qatar with a superb header 22 minutes later. Despite Yusuf Abdurrahman Paladev's 41st minute red card, the hosts went in front 4 minutes into the second half through Jassim Kabir Abu Salam. However, Japan drew level in the 67th minute through Seiji Kimura's close-range header, taking the match into extra time. Mao Hosoya slipped the ball under substitute goalkeeper Ali Koreem to break Qatar's resistance 11 minutes into extra time before Kotaro Uchino secured the 4-2 victory for Japan, moving them closer to clinching the title. On to tennis, the 2024 Madrid Open. World number 1 Iga Swiatek opened her quest to claim her maiden title of the tournament with a clinical display against China's Wang Xiyu on Friday. The Pole did not face any hurdles as she needed only 76 minutes to carve a convincing 6-1, 6-4 victory against the world number 52. The 22-year-old will face 27th-seeded Sorana Cristia in the third round next. Madrid remains the only big European clay title that Swiatek has yet to win as she continues her preparations for the defence of her French Open title. In another match, second seed Coco Gauff also advanced with ease into the last 32, demolishing world number 47 Arantxa Rus 6-love, 6-love in just 51 minutes. The American will face 31st seeded Diana Rastamska next.
6-love, 6-love.
Ustaz detained for allegedly sodomizing students. The details when Nightline returns.
Macam dulu-dulu riang-riang sisimu indah macam dulu-dulu aku rindu rasa macam dulu-dulu rasa tanpa rasa macam dulu-dulu aku rindu.
Perjuangan mempertahankan maruah diri.
Cakap dengan aku, apa yang jadi?
Nadia 20 April.
Apa kau dah buat dekat adik aku? Saya buat apa?
Kalau adik boleh kena, tak mustahil orang lain pun boleh kena.
Perjuangan mencari cinta sejati.
Bakal suami Aina.
Tapi kenapa dia pergi dekat adik aku?
Obsesi 27 April. Satu destinasi untuk semua telefilm hebat kegemaran anda. Hanya di Cereka Rama TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Mak sekarang ni memang bergantung sepenuhnya kepada stoma bag. Bila dah guna stoma bag ni, dia punya pengeluaran dia tu tak dapat dikawal. Sekejap-sekejap keluar. Sekejap keluar, bila dia lihat dia macam tak selesa. Dia memang tak macam dulu. Dulu ceria. Sekarang ni dia banyak menangis, banyak bersedih. Lepas tu berat badan susut banyak. Lebih kurang dalam 30 kilo.
Welcome back. An online seller was fined 23,000 ringgit in default of 3 months jail for making derogatory comments and posting insulting remarks on social media about the military personnel killed in the recent helicopter collision in Lumut, Perak. This was after the 35-year-old Saifuddin Shafiq pleaded guilty to the offence at the Taiping Sessions Court on Friday morning. The sentence was meted out by Sessions Court Judge Nabisha Ibrahim. Saifuddin was accused of initiating the post on X with intention to hurt others at 1:15 p.m. on April 23rd. The offence is punishable with imprisonment not exceeding 1 year or a maximum 50,000 ringgit fine or both upon conviction. The judge said it was hoped that the punishment would serve as a reminder for the accused not to repeat the same mistake, adding it should also serve as a reminder for the public to be more cautious and responsible when using social media. Earlier, State Prosecution Director Wan Azimah Yaakob pressed for a deterrent sentence. However, lawyer Amin Othman, who represented the accused, pleaded for a minimum sentence, stating that his client had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder since 2011. Saifuddin said that while he was aware when making the remarks, he was remorseful for his actions, claiming it was highly unlikely that he would have made the comments had it not been for his bipolar disorder. He also expressed sincere apologies to the families of the victims, the armed forces and members of the public who were affected by the remarks. The Customs Department foiled 3 drug smuggling and distribution activities involving 70 kilograms of drugs worth over 2.4 million ringgit. The seizures were made at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA Cargo Complex and in Subang Jaya, Selangor between April 7th and 23rd. Customs Deputy Director General for Enforcement and Compliance, Datuk Sazali Muhammad, said the first case involved the seizure of 6 kilograms of ketamine and 27.65 kilograms of methamphetamine, all valued at over 1.18 million ringgit at the KLIA Cargo Complex on April 7th. The drugs, which were falsely declared as hardware tools, were sent via courier from the Klang Valley to Sabah by misusing the name of the receiving company that runs a hardware business. In the second case, the department seized 3 packages declared as trousers, which actually contained crystal methamphetamine weighing 40.2 kilograms and estimated to be worth 1.28 million ringgit. The drugs were discovered in a package of Chinese herbal tea at the premises of a courier company in Subang Jaya on April 18th.
Jadi siasatan awal kami mendapati dagangan dihantar dari cawangan pengendali perkhidmatan kurier di sebuah negeri di Kedah dan kemudian dihantar ke hub Ibu Pejabat Perkhidmatan Kurier di Subang Jaya, Selangor menggunakan laluan darat. Jadi dagangan tersebut akan dihantar ke Kuching, Sarawak menggunakan laluan udara.
Sazali added that the case follows the successful arrest of a local by the Narcotics Branch of the Customs Headquarters and the Sarawak Customs Department on March 6. Meanwhile, the third case involved the seizure of 1.2 kilograms of cannabis worth 4,000 ringgit in a parcel declared as snacks at the Post Malaysia International Hub at the KLIA Cargo Complex on April 23rd. All the cases are being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act. In Kelantan, an ustaz at a Tahfiz school in Machang was arrested last week after allegedly sodomizing 3 of his students 2 years ago. Machang Police Chief Ahmad Shafiqi Hussein said the 39-year-old suspect was arrested after the 3 boys, who are between 12 and 13 years old, lodged police reports on April 15th. The suspect has been remanded until April 29th to assist in the investigations. In the reports, the victims claim that they were forced to commit the act by the teacher at the Tahfiz school. Police are investigating the case for sodomy under the Penal Code, which carries a sentence of up to 20 years in jail and whipping upon conviction. We conclude Nightline this time around. Let's take a look as chocolate makers diligently prepare 60,000 delectable sweets, meticulously crafted in the shape of the Paris 2024 Olympic mascots. I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for tuning in and be safe, Malaysia.